Teyana Taylor and Iman divorce has
Yeah,
no
I feel
final.
so close to you.
Yeah, me too.
Fuck all that. We straight.
I really don't care what happens to her at all. I don't care. Like, everybody they tiptoe around with this social media. But what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be constant.
They say heartbreak can knock the wind out of you. But nobody expected Teyana Taylor to literally collapse. Not like that. Not in public. Not after everything she's already been through. The moment it happened, it was like time froze. She was in the middle of her studio session, surrounded by her team, dancers, producers. Just a regular day. But that envelope changed everything. The assistant walked in, eyes low, holding something stiff and cold in her hand. And within seconds, Teyana's entire world shifted. She didn't even open the envelope at first. She just stared at it. Her name was on the front in bold black letters. No design, no flair, just legal coldness. She looked up at the assistant, who didn't say a word. The silence said it all. Teyana opened it slowly, hands shaking, eyes scanning the first line. Her body swayed. Then she gasped and dropped to her knees. The studio erupted in confusion. People rushed over, shouting her name. Someone grabbed water. Another person started dialing. But she didn't speak. She couldn't. Her mouth moved, but nothing came out. The only thing she could do was cry, not loud, not dramatic, but silent tears, the kind that come from deep shock. The kind that say, "This can't be happening." Inside that envelope were official court documents. Iman Shumpert, her ex-husband and the father of her child, had filed for full custody. And not only that, he'd done it secretly. No warning, no discussion, no heads up, just a cold legal ambush. And the worst part? He had her served at work, right in front of her team. She felt violated, humiliated,
Betrayed.
because just days ago they had spoken. Nothing heavy, just a quick exchange about co-parenting schedules. It wasn't warm, but it wasn't hostile. She thought they were finally settling into a rhythm, doing what was best for their daughter. But clearly, Iman had been planning something else. Friends close to her say she's never looked that broken. That this wasn't just about custody. It was about being blindsided by someone she once loved. Someone she thought she could at least trust to be fair, even in a breakup.
But now,
That trust was gone, and the knife felt personal. The legal language in the documents was cold and sharp. It accused her of being emotionally unstable. It referenced recent incidents, social media outbursts, drama with Aaron Pierre, and even subtle shade from gossip blogs, all used to paint a picture of a woman spiraling out of control. But those who know Teyana say that picture couldn't be more wrong. They say she's been strong, too strong for too long. That she's been holding everything together while her personal life keeps getting dragged through the dirt. That she's been trying to heal quietly while the internet picks her apart. And now, with this custody move, it feels like the final blow. So, why did Iman do it? That's the question everybody's asking. Because this wasn't about protecting their daughter. This felt like retaliation. According to insiders, Iman has been growing increasingly uncomfortable with Teyana's new relationship with Aaron Pierre. He didn't like that their daughter was being photographed near him. He didn't like the public attention. And most of all, he didn't like feeling replaced. Especially by someone he reportedly never trusted. Some say he's been gathering evidence for weeks. Quietly screenshotting stories. Taking notes. Watching from the sidelines while pretending to be calm. And when he finally made his move, he did it like a dagger, smooth, silent, and aimed to wound. Serving her at the studio wasn't just about logistics. It was psychological. He knew how much that space meant to her, how much she escaped there to feel safe, creative, in control. And by turning that place into the site of her collapse, he took that power from her. He sent a message. You're not safe anywhere. Sources say after Teyana was rushed out, she went completely off the grid. No calls, no texts, no posts. Just her daughter, and a few trusted people. One of those people? Clarissa Shields, her longtime friend and protector. She reportedly showed up at Teyana's home the same night, not with flowers or tears, but with gloves and a bottle of wine. She told her, "We're going to fight. You're not alone." But that fight won't be easy, because Iman's legal team is not playing fair. They're pushing hard. They've requested an emergency hearing, claiming the child may be emotionally compromised by the current environment. They're citing unnamed male visitors, implying Teyana's home isn't stable. It's a narrative designed to vilify her, not just as a mother, but as a woman who dares to move on.
And it's working.
Some media outlets have already started running headlines questioning her parenting. Gossip pages are dragging up old tweets, old lyrics, even old interviews, anything to frame her as unfit. It's disgusting. And it's deliberate. But Teyana isn't staying silent. Behind the scenes, she's already building her legal army. She's hired one of the top custody lawyers in the country, someone who's represented celebrities, politicians, and people who know how nasty these battles get. And she's prepared to fight, not just for her child, but for her name, for her right to be seen as a whole, complex woman, not just someone's ex. Because, let's be real, this was never about the child. If it was, Iman would have sat down with her. He would have talked, asked questions, raised concerns. He wouldn't have turned their daughter into a weapon. He wouldn't have used the courts as revenge. This was about power, about ego, about punishing a woman for healing without permission. Teyana's mother has also stepped in. She's reportedly furious, calling Iman's actions heartless and calculated. And she's been right by her daughter's side, helping with childcare, shielding her from the worst of the headlines and making sure she eats, because reportedly, she's barely touched food since being served. She's trying to stay strong, but those close to her say the collapse wasn't just physical. It was emotional. She's exhausted, tired of pretending she's okay, tired of carrying the weight, tired of being painted as difficult when all she's doing is surviving. And yet, through all of this, she hasn't dragged Iman publicly. Not once. She hasn't posted cryptic quotes. She hasn't done interviews. She's taken every blow in silence and still showed up for her daughter every single day. Meanwhile, Iman has been spotted out in public, smiling,
Posing. Shopping.
even seen with a new woman just a week before filing for custody. Some believe that relationship is what's really behind his legal push, that maybe he's trying to create a clean slate by removing Teyana from the picture. And that makes this even more twisted. Because the daughter at the center of all this? She loves both her parents. She's too young to understand court papers or custody battles. But she understands energy. She can feel tension. And this legal war, no matter how private they try to keep it, will affect her in ways they can't predict. That's what breaks Teyana the most. Not the betrayal, not the headlines, but the fear that this fight, this pain, could reach her daughter's heart. That one day, she might think her mom wasn't good enough, that she might hear only one side. And that's why Teyana won't back down, even if it means bleeding in the process. She's already told her team, he can have everything else, just not her, never her. The court hearing is looming large, just a few weeks away, and the tension is practically palpable. Both sides are gearing up for what feels like an all-out war. Lawyers are digging through every possible piece of evidence, combing through messages, videos, and anything that could tip the scales in their favor. Witnesses, some loyal, some hesitant, are being lined up one after another, each ready to take the stand and sway the judge and jury. But amidst all this chaos, one thing is certain: Teyana Taylor is not backing down. Reports say she's seriously considering testifying herself. No script, no prepared lines. Just raw, unfiltered emotion coming straight from her heart. A mother's truth, fierce and unpolished, about the pain, the betrayal, and the fight to protect what matters most. This isn't some petty celebrity feud for gossip column fodder. No, this is way deeper. It's about the harsh realities so many women face when they try to rebuild their lives after heartbreak, and the men who once loved them suddenly can't accept the idea of moving on. Instead of support, there's resistance. Instead of peace, there's a battle fought in courtrooms rather than in hearts. It's about the ugly weaponization of motherhood, a cruel tactic far too many women know all too well. When the very bond between mother and child becomes ammunition in a war of control, it reveals just how twisted the system can be. The moment Teyana broke down, the world saw a crack, a vulnerable glimpse behind the strong exterior. But if that was a crack, then what's coming next is a seismic shift. From the ashes of her pain, she's poised for a rise. The fire inside her hasn't dimmed. It's been burning quietly beneath layers of exhaustion, hurt, and betrayal. And when she finally stands firm again, she won't just be standing. She'll roar with a fierce, untamed power, the kind that shakes foundations and demands respect. If there's one thing that's crystal clear about Teyana Taylor, it's that she doesn't stay down for long. Every time life knocks her down, she rises even stronger. But this time, it's not just about her. It's about every mother who's been unfairly labeled as too emotional, too complicated, or too unstable just because she loves fiercely and fights fiercely. Teyana is standing up for those women who have been dismissed, marginalized, or silenced in the name of stability. She's standing up for the right to love fiercely, to fall apart, to break down, and still be worthy of keeping her child close, no matter what. No matter what verdict the court hands down, no matter how the headlines spin the story, no matter how many times she gets pushed to the edge, one thing is clear: Teyana Taylor will never let anyone take her baby away. Not quietly, not without a fight, not ever. Because this is about more than just custody. It's about reclaiming dignity, power, and the fundamental right to be a mother on her own terms. And trust me, the world is about to hear her roar.